that you have to pay into and the way society operates generally.
And cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
If you wouldn't worship the image of the beast, you'll be killed. So he's going to threaten you with fear of death. Go ahead. But it's going to say it when we jump to the 14th chapter. But if you don't take it, he's going to kill you. But if you do take it, the Heavenly Father going to kill you.
We're known as the 12.
But that's why it says in
the name of our group is
fear him not that can kill, destroy the body, but rather fear him that can destroy both body and soul in hell.
I say it like this because that's how we are.
Revelation 13, it's like Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
Hey, every breakdown that they're breaking down is wrong. You can't fit all of those things as it's describing what this chip is pertaining to. It doesn't fit all of those things.
How could you fit sin? How could you fit sin or Christianity into that? What does that have to do with buying and selling? You know, what does that have to do with that, man?
What does that have to do with barter?
Yeah.
How do you insert it into your hand or your forehead?
Yeah.
Barter nations. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
How do you put it? How does a nation put it in their hand?
To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark.
Hey, think about it. You can't buy or sell. You got nothing. What you mean? I can't buy nothing from you to get it, and I can't sell nothing to you to get it, or for you to get it. I'm worthless. This chip will make you worthless if you don't take it. But guess what? That's why you're storing up your spiritual money in the kingdom of heaven with the Most High, because He's who's gonna be like, you know what? I got some spiritual money. Go on around this corner and dig behind that bush. I got a loaf of bread back there. You know, He's gonna feed you. Well, you ain't gonna have to buy and sell with monetary money. You're gonna be able to buy and sell with your spiritual money. The Most High gonna look out for you. His servant shall eat that day.
They become worthless. You worthless to the Most High if you take that chip.
Right.
Because you're going to feel the Most High's wrath.
Yeah, because you done basically gave your soul to the devil the moment you accepted it.
Yeah.
All right, now you serve Satan, man. You know, he put his stamp on you, he put his seal on you. You belong to Satan now. So now all the Lord got left for you is to be burned up, man. You're just worthless. You know? Hey, but going back, like dealing with how they're trying to do away with, you know, the paper money, they're penalizing you. The fact that you still use Federal Reserve notes, there's certain places they penalize you for using Federal Reserve notes.
I got one.
Exactly.
I got one right now.
Any person, when you go to move, when you go to like U-Haul and you try to get you a truck, the first thing they ask you is for a credit card, and you gotta have your ID. If you don't have that, then they say, okay, we'll take your money that you got to give us a note, basically like $100. Put that down as a payment, as a credit. But once they do that, now they gotta get more information from you. You gotta give more references. Like basically, they gotta, just like when you go to a job and they ask you for your 3 references. You got to give me a professional reference. You got to give me emergency contacts, so on and so forth. Well, what does that have to do with me trying to purchase a damn U-Haul truck? But they'll just to rent a U-Haul. But that's what they do if you use a paper money, cash. But when you use your credit card, they just take that off of there and boom, voila, you got your truck. Yeah. You know.
Paying your phone bill.
I was gonna say that.
You go inside to pay your phone bill, they wanna charge you more. But if we come straight out of your account, we don't charge you nothing.
We'll take off the taxes. We'll give you exactly.
That's with insurance too.
Yeah.
You know, you can pay it in full right now, but if you want to go month by month, it's gonna be an extra 50 or whatever, how much the amount is. So. Or they want to, like you said, they want to debit your account automatically. They always ask you, you want to have automatic deduction.
Done. And it's starting to be more restaurants out here that don't accept cash. Like the Denny's on Flamingo, you could only eat in there if you got a card. You can't eat in there and try to pay with cash.
Do you ever notice when you go to Walmart? When you go to Walmart and you go to the self-checkout, it's always the majority of them are not working. They only accepting cards and not cash. Why is that? It's not on purpose.
No, what's wrong
How
with
can
that?
the money machine be broke? What is,
Right.
you know, or why it's not fixed?
Right.
Everything is biometric now.
It's all biometric.
Another thing is, at a lot of jobs now, if you don't have direct deposit, they will give you a debit card
Yep.
to have your money go on. So they giving you they doing away with any kind of paper money, any kind of check, where you receive a check from their hand to you, yours.
You go into the bank, what do? Hey, you want to open this account? You know it's free to open an account. Just start, no, man, I get robbed every month.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I told that I get robbed every month. Oh, well, there's a $5 fee only every month, but they're gonna take 8 out of your check right now. I'll take the 8 now, not to have you routinely take 35 cents for the rest of the whole time I got this account.
Another thing
Add up more than 8.
Another thing about banks, they'll give you a free checking account as long as you get direct deposit.
Right.
If you don't got direct deposit, they're gonna charge you.
Right.
So this whole system is set up for you to ultimately take that chip.
Yep.
And if you Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes, you take that chip, you're done.
Yep. That's right. We gotta finish that off.
Finish that and then get, was that Revelation 14?
Yeah, like that brother asked me like what this about, what's your name, and I kind of explained to him. He said, yeah, I understand what you're saying. He just wanted to know the name. So I said, look, if you stick around, if you got time, the brothers could go into it and show you, but Jake
Can't stick around.
Yeah.
He got his
That woman
money
with
back.
brother
Yeah,
West, I
yep,
wanna hear
yep.
We weren't giving her enough.
I mean, he
shit.
seemed
was on time, too.
he seemed sincere. Like he was talking to me. He wasn't like being sneaky about it. He was just really wanted to know.
Right.
And so I tried to explain to him best I could, but I wanted to direct it over here to the camera
Right.
so we could get it on the camera and for his edification. But
From camera.
but this just goes to show you could be sincere, but this could not be for you.
Yep.
You know.
How many times we've seen it, but they never come back. When
You
we've
got the
seen it,
devil pulling you
But he did ask me
Where you can get it else?
when y'all here, I told him every Sunday from 4 to 8.
Yep.
So if it's meant for him, he'll come back.
Cool.
Hey, because not always when you engage Jake, it's always going to be negative.
Right.
You're gonna have some positive times when you're gonna engage Jake because you do have the elect out there still.
Right.
Matter of fact,
Even engaging 2/3 don't always have to be a negative experience or a shout match.
Yeah, that's true. But it usually turns into it because because the passions are flowing. The passionate juices are flowing. It's spiritual passionate juices.
And their simplicity irks your spirit.
Yeah. Yep. That's why them dudes that came up, I'm like, man, let them go down the road. Because you already see, you can already see where their head was at. Now the one that was here, the last one, he was kind of quiet. He said a few things. He was kind of quiet. He was respectful, but where's he at now?
Right. His dude soon got tapped.
Yeah, and then he took him right down the road. Hey, that's that scripture.
Matthew 13.
Yeah, there you go.
The wicked one.
Yep. Matter of fact, I don't know if y'all got some.
I was holding something to what you were just saying.
Okay, bring it out.
2 Timothy 2, and I'm going to start at 24. It says, and the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient, and meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves.
Could you go back to the apt to teach? When you're apt to teach, you want to teach and edify. Plus, the camera can always use edifying. That doesn't mean just sending people up the block automatically. There's some edification that could come out of it. But when you see a fool coming up to break the concentration of the men of the Lord, and break the word, then that's when you teach to edify those that are sincere, watching it at home on the camera, how to deal with them. Now, man, we ain't answering no questions. They're going up the block or whatever you got to do.
Yep.
Or if they're not being scriptural, you know what I mean? They're
Right.
going off the worldly
Yeah,
topics and
if they
stuff.
don't want to.
Hey,
To
the
humble
scripture
down
say,
what we saying.
leave from a man when you perceive not in him the
the
words
lips
of
of
wisdom,
knowledge.
something like that.
Yeah.
So Yahweh Shai, when the wicked Pharisees and them would come up to him, sometimes he would ignore them. Sometimes he would ignore them. Sometimes he would engage and sometimes he would ignore them. And then he would mostly go into cutting them. These dudes now, that call themselves Israelites, oh, you gotta teach Jake. Look, you gotta do what the Spirit have you to do. If the Spirit have you to curse them out, you curse them out. If the Spirit have you to edify, you edify. And that's that. You know?
Yeah, it's certain guys that come up and they're sincere and they might come up kind of opposing a little, they might gainsay a little bit, but it's out of sincerity, man.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you can actually deal with Jake, but you got Jake that's already coming up with he coming up with an agenda, so to speak.
Yeah.
You can already see it.
good question.
You could dismiss him, man.
Hey,
You
like
got
that
the right
dude-
to dismiss him.
Like that dude last week, he said, "Put me on camera. I want to tell y'all what up."
Right.
I said, "Nah, not right now, bro.
Huh?
Later."
And there's all types of salty ways to do it.
Yeah.
Real flavorful ways to do it.
Yeah. The scripture says, "Soft answer turneth away wrath."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, now I could have just been belligerent, but
No,
that, what would
we
that
ain't
cause?
here for-
That was gonna cause a big ruckus or a fight or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and you could go about it with wisdom
Yeah.
and just dismiss them down the street, pretty much tell them to get the fuck out of here, but in a mild manner.
Yeah, you can be salty about it.
Yeah.
It says, in meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves, if the Most High peradventure will give them repentance to the acknowledging of
Because
the truth.
a lot of times, the moment you just send people up the block, they ain't gonna come back because they were shunned away. But if you give them a soft answer, they'll be like, damn, they did send me away. All right, let me try to come again and come correct. They'll feel like they may have another opportunity to do it if it's for them. But if you think about if the elect walk up and they're in the world, they need to be woken up. Yeah, they're gonna be woken up eventually, but what if you're the one that sends them up the block and it don't spark like that in their spirit? You know, what was that part of your test to see how you dealt with that man? And you didn't deal with him with enough season. You know? You wasn't seasoned enough dealing with him. Well, you was too hasteful in teaching. You wasn't apt to teach. That's why I had to stop and have to teach. You didn't want to answer his question. You want to send him up the block.
Well, that's why the scriptures speak about those that need to be taught again, and those that have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. You know, if, go from the presence of a fool and not perceive not in him
It's gonna be worthless soon.
go from the presence of a fool and not perceive not in him the lips of wisdom or something like that. You know, you got it.
It says, verse 26, and that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, who are taken captive by him at his will.
Yeah. So and because now you got different types of people that hear the word. You know, like the parable in Matthew 13.
Yeah.
You know, some of them hear the word and well, let's read it. Jump into the 18th verse.
It's Matthew 18, Matthew 13, verse 18. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. So
Right, because that's the Lord breaking down the parable that he spoke to the people.
Right.
But he broke it down to the disciples, but he didn't break it down to the people. Go ahead.
when anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understand it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart.
Right, because he was listening. He kind of bucked a little bit, but then he really mostly listening. And then, like you said, his homeboy came up, which represented the wicked, and he sat right there. And what happened? Eventually, he took him down the street.
You see how I told him? He was like, hey, I got a question. I said, hey, okay, we'll answer questions, but make sure it's a good question. He was like,
Yep.
good question. So he sat back and he just listened for a while.
Yeah,
He just, he kind of just paused and listened,
yeah.
trying to figure out what I meant, but then it had him humbled down to just listen.
Right. So when his homeboy came up, took him down the street, that was a wicked one that took out of his heart that which was sown.
Yep,
You know, because he was getting a mouthful.
yep.
But
Earful.
and earful. You know.
His homeboy kept showing him that light.
Yep. You know, and they probably gonna do, you know, some bullshit.
They gonna do some bullshit.
You know, and he ran right down the street with him. You got it right.
Continuing. This is he which receiveth seed by the wayside.
Right, receive seed by the wayside. And if you taking seeds, because you know you see Yahweh Shai, man, when he said the parables, he was practical.
Yeah.
Because if you ripping up the ground and get ready to plant, and you throwing the seeds out, some of the seeds are gonna fall to the wayside. They ain't not even gonna get
Into the earth.
planted into the earth.
Yep.
You know, some of them are gonna fall on stones. Some of them are, some of them are gonna take root. So what he was saying, basically, he was using that analogy for the truth. You know, guys in the truth, and those that hear the word but don't get it.
And don't have any deepness of earth.
Exactly.
You know, I was looking for it on there.
It's right there. It's right as you read on down. we read on down. Yeah, because it's in there.
It's further down.
As you read on down.
But he that receiveth the seed, verse 20. But he that receiveth the seed into stony places,
Right.
the same,
Yeah, you got it?
the same is he that heareth the word,
Yep.
and Anon with joy receiveth.
He quickly receives it. Go ahead.
Yet hath he not root in himself,
Right.
but dureth for a while.
That's the same as when you take this honey for sweetness in your mouth, but when it hits your belly and the reality hits, now it's sour and you don't want to do it no more. It's the same type of situation that happens. But a lot of times this don't even make it that far for you to even take it into your mouth. It's still up, you're still tasting it with your lips. Right?
Yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation and persecution ariseth because of
That's that bitter right there. Right? Go ahead. And tribulation and what?
persecution ariseth
For what? For the word?
because of the word.
Yep.
By and by he is offended.
Yep.
He that
That's what was that scandalizo right there? Is that word right there?
I believe
It's
so.
a stumbling block. Right?
Basically, stumbling.
Something that he can't get over. He can't get past this. It's something because he got like wait. I gotta come out every week.
Yeah.
I gotta in the heat, in the wintertime, I gotta come out there when I'm broke. I gotta study during the week. You mean I can't do this? I can't smoke weed no more. Whatever situations arise.
My family's gonna come against me.
Yeah, right.
My car's gonna break down.
My wife is mad at me or whatever else.
I gotta put this shoe before my kids and my
Yep.
wife.
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
He also that verse 22. He also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
He's still carnal. He didn't understand that this was spiritual. That he had to give up the things of the carnal, of his flesh, and become more about the spirit.
Yeah, that's a person that loves this world.
Yeah.
A person that loves this world, you will not do well in this truth, man.
No.
Right.
Because this comes with sacrifice, man.
If you're not already sighing and crying about this world before you come into this truth, man, it ain't for you. This is just a fad that will pass you by before the missiles destroy you.
Your conscience already got to be real.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of
You gotta
guys that
notice-
come and go, they just think this is just a movement.
Yep.
And that's what they'll call it, man. This Hebrew Israelite movement, brother in Great Millstone, Great Waters, he did a video on that, man. This is our heritage. This is our life, God. This ain't just no damn movement. A movement is the Black Panther Party.
Right.
It has
All
a
right.
beginning and end.
Yeah, it came and it
Black
went.
Lives Matter.
Movements come and go. It moves.
I gotta tell y'all something.
It's not it doesn't have a solid foundation, man. It's not rooted.
Y'all move.
A bowel
When
movement.
you finish
Shit.
with it,
It's gone.
Yep.
And it comes through and then it flushes out.
And it goes in the residue.
That's it.
never to be seen again.
Hell yeah.
I told this woman this. I said, hey, when you humble down as a woman, it ain't just for now, it's forever. You ain't gonna be like, okay, so when the kingdom I'm gonna go, you gonna start now, get a head start now, and continue that forever. What do you mean? Well, I might as well just wait and do what I can do now, and then get, then I guess since I gotta do it when I get to the kingdom. I said, but the way you get there is different.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna like the way the path of getting there is different. I really told her that. She didn't want to humble down now.
You could do that, but you'll pay for it after death by pain.
Yeah.
That's how you gonna get it.
Painful.
You can do it,
You're gonna
but
have to do it anyway.
are you willing to suffer that type of agony?
Right. And know what? We make light about it. We don't. But that pain, man, that death by pain, you gotta know that that's something that you're gonna remember forever. You know? All right. I think we're a little more.
Here's just one last point. But he that readeth, he that received seed into his good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth
Hey,
it.
he's that potter, or not the potter, but the farmer that tilled up the ground was like, let me make sure all these seeds is deep and moist enough, more water, that's making sure the seeds will remain and that they'll have a full chance of growth. That don't mean everyone will grow up the right way, but you trying to make sure that they all do that. But sometimes you don't have time for that, so you sprinkle them, hoping that they take root. Not all of them take root. That's why that's so deep. Such a great parable. Go ahead.
Which also, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some an 100-fold, some 60, some 30.
Yep. So when you finally till and you do all that work, you get the fruit that comes from that, and that's the fruits of wisdom that come from that. When we were talking about that earlier, Jake don't get the fruit of wisdom that comes from the world. They get money and then they don't know where to spend it at. If I had money, if I was given $1 million right now, I probably would say no thank you. I wouldn't even know what to do with it. I feel like I couldn't distribute. I don't know how to distribute it to every brother. I don't know how to do it.
You know what you do? You go ask for God.
You go ask for the God. Right. You know?
You go to those guys, brother.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So you got something.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 3. But the multiplying brood of the ungodly shall not thrive, nor take deep rooting from bastard slips,
Yep.
nor lay any fast foundation.
Go ahead, bro.
For though they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind, and through the force of winds they shall be rooted out.
Yep. They don't get uprooted by their simplicity, so to speak. Because they never get the, what did it say, the deepness? What did it say?
No, it said, it says, nor take deep rooting from bastard slips,
Yep.
nor lay
them continual simple mistakes that you keep making. Not wanting to go, by not going deeper to the Greek and the Hebrew, those are little bastard slips in breaking down this word properly. You have to do that. You have to get the full understanding of it.
That's your stumbling blocks.
Yep.
It says, nor lay any fast foundation.
Yep.
For though they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not
A
fast.
fast foundation, right? If you know anything about laying cement, right? If you hurry up and you throw it together, you don't make sure it's packed down, and it's got a certain amount of rocks to hold it together. If you just lay it down and it dries too fast, it can also crack too fast, and it's going to break up and not be a true foundation, or it might be slightly off center or whatever. Not perfect balance to it, and now it's off, and now it's not going to keep you stable and hold you down.
It says, for though they flourish in branches for a time, meaning they endure for a while, yet standing not fast.
It seems to have, it's taking root. There's a little sprout coming up. I see the benefits of this. You begin to see the benefits, but you want to have that big tree like you was talking about.
Planted by the wall.
Yep, but that fruit that can now grow seed to plant to build other trees that'll produce more fruit. That's all this word.
It says, yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind. Meaning steadfast.
Yep.
Meaning you got to be firm, like solid. Yep. All right, something that can't be moved. All right, your faith has to be like that. You can't let nothing shake you up in its truth.
Right.
All right, whether it be flat earth doctrine, all these different, the hell doctrine, all these different doctrines that's coming left and right and to and fro in the earth from Satan. All right, all that is just vapors of Satan basically trying to root you out, man. Satan seeking to sift you as wheat.
Remember when
and he does it through in the form of doctrines, better known as in the scripture strange women. All right, strange philosophies, man. If the Lord doesn't want you, you're gonna get rooted out, man, by those different winds. And those different winds represents different philosophy, different doctrines. That's why it says in Hebrews 13, if I'm not mistaken, be not carried away with with every wind of doctrine. It says, they shall be shaken with the wind, and through the force of winds, they shall be rooted out. And that's most of the time, that's what gets guys rooted out and pushed out the circle. You know? Because they start giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of the devil. All right? They have itching ears and they still turn away their ears from hearing the truth and start taking on fables.
Okay.
That's why you got guys leaving us and they go to groups that teach hell. That there's a place in the spirit world where your spirit gets tormented. But that's nowhere in the scriptures.
Right.
You know? That's what'll happen to you when you get rooted out, man. And then Satan will be on you to think that you still are in it.
Yeah.
Like you still in the truth, like you still doing the Lord a service, man, by going out and still speaking. You know, you might still be eloquent, you bringing out precept upon precept, but a lot of them you breaking down is totally wrong.
Yep.
You know?
It starts with one grain of leaven,
Yeah.
to corrupt the whole doctrine.
Hebrews 13 9.
You can get it.
Hebrews 13 and 9.
Start at 8, brother. Sorry.
Hebrews 13 and 8. Yahushua Hamashiach, the same yesterday and today and forever.
The reason I had him bring that out was because the doctrine that he set up stands the test of time. He's not going to change it later on.
That's right.
So that's the same wisdom, the same breakdowns that will stand the test of time no matter what.
There's
You know?
only one truth.
So, you said it, bro.
There's only one truth. The truth can't be changed. All right? The truth endures forever, man.
More right there.
All right?
Verse 9. Be not carried away with diverse and strange doctrines, for it is a good thing that the heart be established with grace.
Hey, how you carried away by the winds of doctrine. As soon as you hear something that took your ears that sound right to your heart, to your spirit, which the scriptures tell you you're not supposed to lean upon your own understanding because the heart is deceitful. As soon as you hear it, you think it's the truth. And that'll be the seed that's sown in your mind to bring you right up out the faith. And now you're giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils.
Right.
All right, so that's part of, when you come into this thing, guys that they'll come in and they'll endure for a while, for a certain period of time. They'll be in the branch, but then by that wind blows them off.
Yeah, that's where you're supposed to remain in the things that you learned of and have been assured of.
And be assured of it, man. Have full assurance of it. And whom have you learned it from, man? But guys, they can't endure that.
Because they haven't fully humbled themselves completely as a little child to say, you know what? I believe that whatever I'm taught by these men through the Spirit is what it is. To say, you can ask a question, and what's funny is the apostles, they're humble enough to be like, you know what? If this were to happen, hypothetically, I believe anyway, you know what? Oh yeah, I can look into that because the doctrine has been upgraded through them years before. I don't think they're completely closed-minded to if the Spirit's giving something up, But that don't mean it has to come through you. That's why they give us the instruction to go through them first to make sure of what the doctor's talking about.
Yeah, man.
Not with meats which have not profited them that have been occupied therein.
Yeah, them heavy, solid doctrines stuff. You get choked up, man. Was that the other one? Ephesians 4 and 14. Because if you're not deeply rooted and you don't have a solid foundation, that wind, it has strong enough power to sweep you away from the tree, man. You just be blown with the wind. You'll be just like that hot Cheeto bag or that McDonald's wrapper on the freeway being blown all over the damn freeway, man.
Along with the wind.
Just gone, man. When Issachar come with the blower and shit, and blowing the grass, you got all that trash and plastic forks and aluminum and shit. Hey, that if you ain't solid in this truth, that could be you. Yeah, Arizona, empty ass soda can, That's known as chaff. And the Lord said He gonna burn the chaff, man. Yeah, get that real quick. Ephesians 4:14.
Ephesians. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, whoever.
This is Ephesians 4:14, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine.
Hey, but if you wicked, the Lord, that's your stumbling block. The Lord will allow that to happen to you. You be taken out by a wayward doctrine, man. You know? You believe that the earth is flat. That alone could just take you and bug you the fuck out. You know?
That's a seducing spirit.
That's a seducing spirit, man. You know, you'll go back to believing that, you know, you're African, you're Pan-African. You'll go back over with them niggas in Harlem, the so-called black unconscious community, and you start believing half the shit them niggas is talking about.
That's a dog returning back to his vomit.
Yep.
I mean, you want to get that too. 2 Peter 2.
Yeah. A pig rolling in the shit. You know?
I got a pre.
Was you finished with that? Yeah, let him get that and then get your pre.
Tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive.
Where they lie in wait to deceive, man. You know? Because Satan, he worked as a roaring lion seeking who he may devour. All right, he ain't got to personally come up to you. He'll just play tricks on your mind. And you'll be behind your computer looking at some videos, and now your heart is into that shit now. Start becoming bugged out, and you don't even realize it.
What is Dan?
And then when brothers come to you, be like, what you doing? No, that wasn't taught. That's not being taught. Why are you teaching that? Why are you going into that? And then next thing you know, oh man, I prayed on it, I fasted on it.
Yep.
You know.
And it is.
You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is.
That's what goes down, man. You know?
Seen it time and time again.
And then you got guys, you got little disciples that follow you, they looked up to you in the camp, so they like, well man, maybe the Spirit is dealing with him. I think he's right. You know? What if he's getting revelation? Not the apostles ain't they can't be the only ones just getting revelations.
Yeah.
You know?
Like your man Egghead.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you justifying flat earth. Now you get tormented in hell. You know?
And that opens the door, the gateway to hell, so to speak.
Yeah.
All different types of bullshit.
Of crazy shit, man. The great the 144,000 is both men and women and children. With men and women and children are included in that. Or the 200 million is not talking about missiles. It's talking about troops.
Yeah,
the armies.
Yeah, I got a quick precept I came to mind, but the brother from GMS Guyana, Shalom to the Akim out there. Colossians 2:6. As you have therefore received Yahushua, the Lord, so walk ye in him.
Yep.
It says, Salakir. It says, rooted and built. Damn it. It says, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith as you have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. Because with this truth, you're supposed to increase and continue to increase. You know? It ain't supposed to be digressing, you're supposed to be progressing. You know? There's another one here, GMS Guyana again. 2 Peter 2:21. Actually, if somebody want to go there, get the 20, I believe it starts at 20.
2 Peter 2.
2 Peter 2:20.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 20. It says, for if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world.
Yeah, because this world is polluted. That's why it says in Micah that come out of her, my people, that you be not partaker. I'm sorry, what?
It's not your rest.
That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. That's a Revelation 18. That's something totally different. Right. This is not your rest. For this. Matter of fact, somebody get
I got it right here, Micah 2:10.
Read it.
Arise and depart, for this is not your rest.
Right. Arise and depart, for this is not your rest. Go ahead.
because it's polluted, it shall destroy you even with the sword destruction.
Yeah, because it is polluted and it shall destroy you even with a sword destruction. That was it, right?
Yeah.
So now get that one in 2 Peter 2.
2 Peter 2 and 20. For after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of our Lord Yahushua, our Lord and Savior, Yahushua Mashiach.
Yeah, been purified and escaped from this world through the knowledge of the scriptures through Yahushua. Go ahead.
It says they are again entangled therein.
Right, entangled in what? In the world. Go ahead.
And overcome.
And overcome.
Now
You know?
it got you.
That's why the scriptures say, use the world as not abusing it.
Right.
Because you can do certain things that you have to do to advance yourself, so to speak,
Yep.
but don't get caught up and entangled in that.
Yeah.
Because if you get entangled in that, then you're gonna be pulled right on out.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says the latter end is worse with them than the beginning.
Why? Because now you came in and one demon was taken out off you. Now you're gonna have 8 more demons to contend with.
More wickeder than the first.
More, yeah. And the 7 that come are more wicked than the first one. Go ahead.
It says, for it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness.
Right. It's been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness. This is the way of righteousness. This is that path that leads to that day that becomes brighter and brighter as we come closer and closer to it. Go ahead.
It says, for it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them.
Right, because it was delivered unto everybody. So that's been teaching this truth. So it had been better for you not to know the way of truth or righteousness than to have known it and turned away from it. You know? Go ahead.
It says, but it is happened unto them according to the true proverb. The dog is returned to his own vomit.
Right, and you see that. You see when a dog throws up, he'll throw up, walk away, and come back and start licking the vomit.
Yep.
You know, and what is that vomit? That represents all these different philosophies and the way of thinking of this world.
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says, and the soul that was washed to her wallowing in the mire.
Right, and the sow that was washed with wallowing in the mire. Because you take a sow or a female pig and you wash it, what's she gonna do? She's gonna go right back to the mud and waddle in that mud, and you know. So if you're cleansed and cleaned up, and you go back in the world, it's like you that pig that went and bathed in mud after you've been cleaned up. That was it on that?
That was it on that.
All right, y'all got it.
I got something.
Bring it up.
2 Peter 3 and 17. It says, ye therefore, beloved, seeing you know these things before, beware lest you also being led away of the error of the wicked, fall from your own steadfastness, but grow in grace and in the knowledge of our Lord and Savior, Yahushua Mashiach.
Because once you stay stagnant in understanding, hey, that allows that comfort to keep basically dulls the knife where you're not sharp anymore. You don't know how to use and apply certain things. Like that's why I was gonna say earlier, those tests that the apostles that gave us, man, that was a sifting process and an upgrade also to those that diligently studied those tests. It was 2 things that happened there. Part of that was that sifting process.
Yeah, because some of them guys, they got tired of taking them tests.
Yep.
You know, and that sifted a few guys out.
Yep.
I got a pre. Oh, you still
It said to grow in grace and in knowledge, man. That means you got to become more fruitful.
Yep.
You know?
That you may
If you ain't
grow
bringing
thereby.
forth fruit, the Lord gonna hack that tree down, man.
Yeah.
If you don't bring the increase,
Yeah.
chop that down.
take your talent.
You don't take it away, man. And it's gonna be what? Hewn, thrown in the fire.
Fire, yep.
That was
Firewood.
it. Yeah, that was it.
This is Sirach, chapter 5, verse 9. Winnow not with every wind, and go not into every way.
Yep.
Talk about those philosophies.
For so doeth the sinner that hath a double tongue.
That's it.
Go
Now,
not into the every way, just like you would be at a damn buffet.
yeah.
You know everything laid out got abomination in it, but you just looking in each tub and shit.
Yeah. And eating out of each
And
stuff.
eating out of each one. You just defiling yourself more and more, man.
Yeah. Hey,
No
what's that
one- no one
scripture?
was clean when
Meddle not with him that's given the change.
Oh man, I think was that Malachi?
No, that's in Proverbs.
Proverbs.
I don't know if it's 24:18 or just check that, see what that says. Because that goes perfect, brother. Read that scripture you just read.
Sirach, chapter 5, verse 9. Winnow not in every wind,
Right.
and go not into every way, for so doeth the sinner that have a double tongue.
Right, and that's why you got them guys that are dabbling this and they'll dabbling that. Like the dude that came up last week? The dude that was like a gnat in our ears.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Danny Glover.
Yeah, Danny Glover, yeah. And,
Tommy Glover, that was the guy.
yeah, because he's into getting into everything. He wants to get into everything, you know? He wants to get all different knowledge from all different places so he can have a plethora of madness.
And that's Jake's.
Smorgasbord of madness.
That's Jake's problem, man. Jake, they want to be in a Christian church, then they want to be into Egyptology, and they in so many religions. So by the time they come to, they just so confused, they so bugged out. And that's what that script was going into. Don't follow every way. It's only one way, and that's the doctrine of the scriptures, man. One true meaning of these breakdowns.
That wasn't it, right?
Proverbs 24.
Oh, that was it?
Oh yeah.
What verse?
Proverbs 24 and 21.
Okay, I mean I was close. What did the 18th verse say? What did the 18th verse say?
That's the Lord seeing.
Proverbs, that's it.
Proverbs 24 and
Don't be
18.
lazy.
Lest
Don't be
the Lord
lazy.
see it and displease
Stop being
him
lazy.
and turn away his wrath from him. That's what it says. But jumping down to 21, it says, "My son, fear thou the Lord and the King, and meddle not with them that are given to change."
Yeah, meddle not with them that are given the change. Why? Because
The man is unstable in all his ways.
there you go. Yeah, hey, the brother just put it on the comment board. Lamad Yazayan. James 1 and 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Saints.
I really want to be
They
proverb.
They listen over
Yeah,
there.
Over there,
yeah,
they
they somebody called you over there.
They hear you right now.
I heard him say, get that dude in the backpack.
He posted that script on the comment board.
Yeah, James Lamad.
Smite you with madness and blindness.
Yeah, there you go, bro.
Hearing the curse is made true.
Hey, the freaks come out at night. Lamad Yazayan, he said, James 1 and 8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. That's why it says, meddle not with him that is given the change. You know? And you see that with a lot of guys. You know, they thinking that the Lord is dealing with them specifically, that they don't have to come through the teachers, but you're wrong. You know, we all had to come through teachers. You know?
We all got to be retaught when you come into
That's it.
With Sirach 27 and 11, the discourse of a godly man is always with wisdom, but a fool changeth as the moon.
Ooh, read that again.
And weak means
Read that again. Hey, that's what they call people lunatics.
Yeah.
You know, because they depending on the fullness of the moon, they be bugging out.
Trip out.
Yeah, lunatic, lunar. Yeah. Read that again.
Sirach 27 and 11. The discourse of a godly man is always with wisdom, but a fool changeth as the moon.
Right, a fool changes at the moon. The discourse of the godly is what? Read that
Man
again.
of wisdom.
With
So
what? The discourse of the godly is with wisdom, and the
Man of
fool
wisdom.
changes as the moon.
Yeah.
You know, so a righteous man, a godly man, or a man of a righteous man would discourse with wisdom, but a fool changes as the moon.
Yep.
One week he's a Muslim, next week he's a Christian, next week he's a Roman Catholic, next week he's just a person, next week he's an Asiatic black man, next week he's a Pan-African, you know, next week he's a moron or a Mormon, you know. There's no end because the moon just keeps changing. You know?
Keep changing.
Yeah.
They got many phases.
Hey,
Just like these women. These women go through phases. These men do it too.
John.
Hey, it's like what they describe the people as when they go through a whole bunch of phases. Bipolar. That's what they say. They say
Well,
bipolar.
they tripolar, quadpolar,
quadruple polar,
Sexpolars.
Yeah.
octopolar. They in all these documents, man.
Yeah.
Polar bag.
But they don't know that each way that they go is they're stepping towards the pits of hell. Man.
Yeah. Hey, because the scriptures say, somebody get that, was that Proverbs 7? You know what I'm talking about,
That
right?
strange woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Proverbs 7. It's going like around 20.
Proverbs 7.
Go straight to the point and then jump up.
This is Proverbs 7:25. Let not thine heart decline to her ways. Go not astray in her paths. For she hath cast down many wounded. Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death.
Yep, her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. And that's these different philosophies. You gotta jump up though.
Jump to like 4.
Yeah, start at the first verse. Let's
Yeah.
kind of read through it kind of a little quick.
This is Proverbs 7:1. My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my
Oh,
commandments.
Salaki, let me read this real quick. This is Proverbs 2:18. For her house inclineth unto death, and her path unto the dead. So it goes with that. That's dealing with philosophy, you know. But read that.
Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman.
Go ahead.
That they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth her words.
With their words. Why? Because these philosophies and doctrines, they sound good to people. They sound sweet. But their destruction is what? The end of it is destruction.
The Most High have chose the foolish of this world to confound
The wise.
To confound the
The wise, yeah. That's right.
The foolish things of this world to confound the wise.
Go ahead.
For at the window of my house I looked through my casement, like, and beheld among the simple ones. I discerned among the youths.
The simple ones. You know that here it is. You're learning the truth, and then you start getting into the flat earth, or you start getting into these other different philosophies, and through the simplicity that's in your mind, you end up falling for that smooth flattery of that woman, which is them philosophies. Go ahead.
Can I put it in layman terms with Jake, right? Yeah, I know she a hoe, but she got a fat ass though. I still want to hit it. I know she got AIDS, but if I wear a condom, I might be all right. That's the same type of unwise thinking that our people have. That same simple thinking that they have.
He a fag, but he got money though.
Yeah, that's it.
So when you think of it, going deep, Babylon. All that wine that's passed out to all them other nations, they saw something in that wine.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
They took a drink of it and they got fucked up.
Yeah. It was looking good in the cup. Hey, that's what the scriptures say, look not upon the wine because it is red.
Yeah.
But many have been deceived by that, you know?
Yeah.
Show not thy valiantness in the wine. Okay?
Yeah, that's right. And them nations, they had to find out the hard way. Now, Ishmael, his woman is they wearing pants now. You know, talking shit,
Yeah.
they sleeping around. They got their hair covered. You know, Moab, they got GMO. It's all fucked up now, man.
They're like, oh man, this ain't what we signed up for.
That's why, therefore, Jeremiah, the nations are mad.
Yeah.
You know?
That's it. They bugged out.
They drunk the wine of that harlot, man.
Hey, them nations are bugged out. Go ahead,
And beheld among the simple ones I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding, passing through the street near a corner.